With 75% of Facebook users in a recent survey unhappy with their body, it's not hard to believe that body image and self-esteem is at a crisis point among teenagers. With an urgent need to actively instill the confidence to feel that a healthy body is what counts, parenting author Sharon Witt is here with some positive tips to help combat this phenomenon. Welcome, Sharon.
Good morning, ladies. Morning, Colin. How are you? Now, it's such an important issue. It really is.
Why is there more pressure now on teenage girls than ever before regarding their body image?
Look, I think when we were growing up as teenage girls, you know, you might get your TV Week and a few of those sort of magazines. Now it's absolutely everywhere. You know, it's in the music videos that we watch. You know, they're so digitally enhanced, and you know, it's the magazines that we see, it's the programs, and our girls are just bombarded with these images on an hourly basis, you know, in social media and in the general media. We're going to have a little bit of a look at some airbrushed images right now in a moment. There are a lot of the images that the girls see. They don't realise that there's between 40 and 45 changes made to the average image that they see.
Really?
So, absolutely. So when I work with a lot of teen girls around the country, and when I actually go, there's one now, we've got Gwen Stefani here. Now, when you show girls these, they don't realise the before and after. They don't realise that these ladies, the young people, have been in hair and makeup for an hour, and then they go and get, you know, digitally enhanced. And this is Kim Kardashian here. And, you know, our girls don't realise that they actually have the normal lumps and bumps that we all have. But then they shave off. I love this one. Look at this. This is Kourtney Kardashian. Have a look at the stomach. This was her photo on the left-hand side. On the right-hand side, her stomach's gone. This is what actually made it to the magazine. Now, unless we actually show our girls what... Oh, look at this one. Lovely Madonna, look at that. And this is actually the after shot on the right. So between 40 and 45 changes are made to each image.
How did you get the before shots?
How do you get them before? Well, you can actually get them. I mean, you can get them online. When you Google it before and after shots, you can find them. So I actually show teen girls. I work with a lot of second year, like year 8 girls. And I showed them the before and after shots, and they're just gobsmacked. They don't realise how fake it is. And, you know, when I talk to girls, about 90% of them would think that they are fat. And that just astounds me, and it really grieves me that they think they're fat. They think as soon as their bodies start to change and they've got thighs that, oh my goodness, I'm fat. And so they look at these images in the media and think, well, how am I supposed to compare to that? And I say to them, but how are you supposed to? It's fake.
It's not real.
It's not real.
But the magazine editors, particularly of the women's magazines that promote this, they go through this stage of going, oh, we don't want to airbrush stuff, but then they say that we won't read it unless it is airbrushed.
Yeah, I actually think we need to have more, you know, real people on the covers in the magazines that are just real, that our girls can look at and go, okay, they do have blemishes, they do have pimples. That they're not seeing that. They're seeing, you know, beautiful skin, they're seeing no blemishes, no fat.
I think, though, I mean, even the images that you showed us to try and explain your point, the women still look beautiful to me in the before shot.
Of course
and it is still something to aspire to. So I think it's more just to explain to girls how to feel better about themselves, just in general, don't you think?
I really think that we need to talk to our girls about loving the skin that they're in and try not to play the compare and despair game, and just, you know, learning to help them develop a positive body image. And how do we do that? Well, you know, we educate them. We start by talking to them about, you know, just remember that when you look at covers, they have had between 40 and 45 changes in the digital. We're looking at something. Yeah, education. Set an example. I think as women, as role models, we need to, you know, I've got a daughter, and I think, you know, if we're looking in the mirror saying, oh, I'm fat, I'm ugly, and going on diets constantly and talking badly about our bodies, that's what our girls are seeing. You know, I'm a high school teacher, and I try and portray a strong, healthy role model to my girls, that, you know, so that they see someone who's not obsessed with their body and always on a diet and things like that. So I think that's really, really important. Another thing I wanted to raise, which was very important, is that, you know, Hunger Games are huge at the moment. Everyone's going to watch the Hunger Games. And interestingly enough, not last week, the week before, Jennifer Lawrence, who plays Katniss, they talked in the media about her being too big to play the role of Katniss. They were saying that she was, you know, too large because she's supposed to be skinny and, you know, sort of run down.
And hungry.
Yet the other, Josh Hutcherson and Liam Hemsworth, who were the other characters who were from the same area, all bulked up and, you know, broad.
They're boys.
Because they're boys. And I think, you know, the girl, Katniss, the main character, is actually a really great role model because she was tough and strong and looking after her family, and she hunted for things and powerful, and I think that's a great role model. I'm not saying let's go around and kill people, but I'm just saying as a girl.
Sure, and speaking of great role models, another thing that you suggest is to emphasise health, and I think fitness is another thing. And I've seen this with young women, is if they're good at a sport, and it doesn't have to be one of the big sports like swimming or running, it could be diving or ballet or something. If they feel good in their bodies because of that sport, they've got less issues because they get that feeling of endorphin and self-love from their
I think some of our great role models are our female swimmers, our female sports girls. I mean, they're brilliant.
And they're not stick thin.
They're not stick thin, and we don't want to portray that stick thin is the way to go. We want to promote healthy role models, healthy girls that are loving the skin they're in and doing things that they're passionate about. I think the more when we're following our passions and we're doing things that we love, whether it be craft or whether it be sport or whatever it happens to be, but when we're doing something that we love, that's when we really start to develop a positive self-esteem and positive body image.
Absolutely. And I think older women experience it when they make a baby and they go, you know what, I've hated this body for so long, but it did something awesome.
Amazing.
Now, just quickly, if you've got a daughter who you think is going too far with the worrying about it, with the inspections in the mirror, what should you do then, Sharon?
Yeah, I think that's really important because, you know, some recent statistic says that by age 17, 90% of girls would have been on a diet. That is just awful. This is terrible. So I think if you're worried about your daughter, really need to go and speak to a counsellor, go to your local GP, because I think many of the body image issues and the eating disorders fly under the radar for a long time before we actually find out something is wrong. Often it's months and months into it, so it's not too late, but it's a fair way into it. So we need to keep an eye on it, and I think we need to encourage our girls to look out for each other as well, and to tell an adult.
Before we run out of time, you have to give a shout out.
Yes, I've got to give a massive shout out to one of my students, Beck, and she's watching right now from the ICU in the Children's Hospital, so we all have to say hi, Beck. We were talking about organ donation earlier today. She received a liver. She has just had a liver transplant on Good Friday, which was just amazing and all going well. But I've talked to my own children about organ donation, and it isn't an easy subject, and, you know, there's a family out there grieving right now, you know, having lost a loved one. But
I think the main point is that you should be discussing these things with your kids. All issues.
Well done, Beck.
So, Beck, we hope that you get well. Where's the camera? We're looking over here. Over there, Beck. We hope you get well soon, and, yep, she's watching right now with her mum.
Please thank parenting author Sharon Witt. Great stuff, Sharon. Plenty more to come this Easter Monday morning. The news is next. Stick around. You're watching The Circle.